The new roommate Alex never liked surprises, especially before coffee. The sun was barely up when he stepped out of the shower, half dry, a towel wrapped loosely around his waist. He walked into his room, rubbing water from his eyes. That's when it happened. His door opened, and standing there was not his old roommate Mark. No, this was someone else, tall, slim, with silvery skin and glowing violet eyes. Her head tilted like a curious bird. No shame, no apology, just one strange sentence. "This changes things." Alex froze. Time seemed to stop. The towel slipped a little. He grabbed it quickly, heart racing. "Hey, ever heard of knocking?" The alien blinked slowly. "I did. You did not answer. That's because I wasn't expecting—" He stopped. Who are you?" "I am Zyra. I am your new roommate." The apartment manager hadn't mentioned a thing about replacing Mark. Alex stared at her, speechless. She was unlike any alien he'd met before, and Earth had seen a lot of aliens in the last 5 years. Since the Galactic Peace Treaty, humans and other species lived together in big cities like New Terra Prime. Still, rooming with one? That was new. Zyra stepped back without saying more. The door closed behind her. Alex stood there in silence, then muttered to himself, "Great, just great." Later that day, he finally got dressed, made coffee, and sat at the kitchen table. Zyra was already there, standing still in the corner. Not sitting, just watching. Want something?" he asked. "No. I do not consume Earth food, but thank you." Silence. Alex cleared his throat. "So, Mark moved out?" "Yes. He was not compatible. Too much noise. Too much sweat." Alex blinked. "That sounds about right." Zyra stepped closer. "You, however, may be different." That didn't sound like a compliment. "I'm not sure how I feel about that." She tilted her head again. "Feelings are not required, only understanding." Alex gave a nervous laugh and sipped his coffee. Right. The rest of the day was strange. Zyra didn't eat. She didn't sit. She didn't even seem to sleep. At night, she stood in the corner of her room, eyes open, hands clasped. Alex tried to ignore her weird behavior. He put on a movie, tried to relax, but couldn't shake the feeling she was listening through the walls. Around midnight, he went to bed, tired and confused. But before he turned off the light, he noticed something on his desk. A small, smooth, glowing stone, pale blue like ice. It hadn't been there before. He picked it up. It was warm. Then he heard her voice clear as day, though she wasn't in the room. "For protection. You'll need it soon." Alex dropped the stone. He rushed into the hallway. Zyra stood there, waiting. No emotion on her face. "What is this thing?" he demanded. "A link. Between us. It has chosen you." "I didn't choose anything." Zyra stepped closer, her voice soft. "That may not matter." Alex stared at her, breathing hard. "Why are you really here?" She paused. "To hide." "Hide from who?" Zyra looked up past the ceiling toward the stars. "From those who would end me, and anyone near me." Alex's skin went cold. That night he didn't sleep. He lay in bed holding the glowing stone, wondering what kind of danger he had just walked into. Outside the night was quiet, but far above Earth something moved in the shadows of space. A signal pulsed from a hidden satellite. Red eyes opened. The hunt had begun. The warning: the apartment was dark. Too dark. Alex opened his eyes to silence. The clock on the wall blinked. 3:17 a.m. Power was out. No hum of electronics. No city noise. Outside, only stillness. Then he heard it, a whisper, very soft. Not words, just a sound, like breath passing through glass. He sat up. The glowing stone Zyra gave him was bright, brighter than before. It pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat. Thump, thump, thump. Alex held it tightly. The warmth from last night was now a low buzz in his palm. That's when the door opened. Not his bedroom door. The front door. He froze. Someone, or something, had just entered the apartment. Footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Alex grabbed his phone. Dead. He reached for anything. Anything to use as a weapon. A lamp, a shoe, then a knock. But it wasn't at his bedroom door. It was inside his head. Alex. It was Zyra's voice. Soft. Urgent. Not spoken aloud. Do not move. Do not speak. They are here. His heart pounded. The air felt thick. Outside the door, a shadow passed. Tall. Thin. The shape of a person, but not human. It paused near his door, sniffed the air. Then it moved on. Moments passed like hours. Then Zyra entered, silently, like smoke. Her eyes were glowing brighter than before. Her skin shimmered. They came faster than I expected, she said. Who? Alex whispered. She didn't answer. She looked down at the stone in his hand. It's fully active now, they can sense it. Alex sat up. Zyra, tell me what's going on. Who are you running from? Zyra finally looked him in the eyes. I was born to a dying empire. My kind ruled 1,000 systems. Then we were betrayed. My blood is forbidden. My name is erased. She took a deep breath. But I carry a key. And now, you carry it too. Alex stared at her. What kind of key? Zyra touched the glowing stone. To a weapon, or a secret, or a curse. It depends who finds it first. Suddenly, the walls of the apartment shook. A blast of energy hit the building from above. Lights outside flickered. Sirens wailed. A voice echoed from nowhere, metallic, cruel. Zyra of House and Vol, you are found. Come out, or earth burns. Zyra didn't flinch. They brought a hunter-class sentinel. Alex stood up. What? A living machine, she said. They only send it when they are afraid. Afraid of what? Zyra turned toward the window. Her eyes were no longer calm. Afraid of what I might become. The ground trembled again. Outside, red light bathed the sky. Zyra grabbed Alex's wrist. We must leave now. Go where? To a place no map shows. A place even the hunters fear. She pressed a small device. A portal shimmered on the apartment wall, blue and spinning, like a mirror of water. Alex hesitated. What if I say no? Zyra looked at him for a long second. Then you die. Slowly. Or worse. You're taken. That was enough. Alex jumped through the portal with her. Behind them, the sentinel entered the apartment. It sniffed the air like a beast. Red lights scanned the room. It found the remains of the stone's energy. Not much, but enough to speak one word. Connected. Then it vanished, tracking the echo left behind. Hidden identity. The world blinked sideways. 1 second, Alex was inside his apartment. Red lights flashing, ground shaking. The next, he was falling through swirling blue air, like sinking through liquid glass. Then, slam. He hit a cold floor. Alex gasped, rolling over. Where are we? Zyra stood nearby, perfectly balanced on her feet. The portal behind them closed with a soft hiss. This is a transit vault, she said. Built long ago, before your species discovered fire. Alex looked around. The room was round, metallic, with walls covered in strange glowing symbols. Dust floated in the air, undisturbed for centuries. He stood slowly. Are we underground? Deeper, she said. Far beneath New Terra, in forgotten tunnels. A chill ran down his spine. So this place is ancient. Zyra's voice lowered. It is sacred. Only those marked may enter. Alex's eyes narrowed. You mean the glowing stone? No. She looked at him with an unreadable expression. I mean you. Alex backed away. What does that mean? Zyra walked toward him slowly, as if afraid he might break. The bond was not supposed to activate. Not with a human. Not ever. He laughed nervously. So it was because you saw me naked? She didn't smile. That moment was not an accident. Alex froze. What? The bond is awakened by exposure, vulnerability. I didn't plan it. But the moment I opened that door, the old magic chose you. Alex's mind spun. Are you saying I'm, what? Your soulmate? Zyra finally smiled, but it wasn't warm. Not soulmate. Something older, something dangerous. She reached toward him and touched his wrist. Her skin shimmered. So did his. Your DNA is changing, she said softly. My people are telepathic. When we bond, when we share memories, skills, even pain. Alex felt it then, a deep thrum in his chest. Not fear, not anger, power. Memories flashed through his head, images of alien stars, wars, death, fire. None of them were his. All of them felt real. He stumbled backward, holding his head. I can see things. Zyra, I can see you, fighting, bleeding, running. She nodded. That's what happens when the bond grows. Alex looked up, breathing hard. What happens when it completes? Zyra's face darkened. One mind, one body, one fate. Suddenly, the vault lights dimmed. Zyra turned sharply. They found us. From the far wall, a siren began to pulse, not loud but constant. She raised her hands, forming a shield of purple light around them. The sentinel is tracking the echo of our energy. Alex shouted, Can we run? No, but we can hide. She led him to a platform in the center of the vault. As she activated it, the floor opened slowly, revealing a spiral staircase carved from black stone. Alex hesitated. Where does that go? To my past, she said. And possibly your future. They descended into darkness. The walls were covered in carvings, warriors with glowing eyes, battles between light and shadow. Alex touched one. It lit up at his touch. Zyra watched him. Only the bloodborne can activate these. Not even I can do it alone. Alex pulled his hand back. Why me? She stopped walking. Her voice was soft but heavy. Because you're not just human anymore. At the bottom of the stairs was a chamber. In the center stood a floating crystal, 6 feet tall, humming with soft blue light. Zyra knelt before it. This is the memory core. It holds the truth of my people. She turned to Alex. And now, it will show you who I really am. The crystal lit up. A beam of light struck Alex in the chest. His mind exploded. He saw Zyra as a child, crowned in gold, surrounded by stars. He saw her training with energy blades, moving faster than thought. He saw her parents burned alive by enemies of the throne. He saw her running, hiding, changing forms, hiding on forgotten worlds and until she reached Earth. Alex dropped to his knees, gasping. Your royalty, he whispered. Zyra nodded. I was supposed to die, but I chose to survive. He looked at her, eyes wide. And now, we're connected? She reached out, helping him up. More than connected. You are now part of a bloodline that half the galaxy wants dead. Suddenly, a sound echoed through the tunnel. Metal. Claws. Breathing. The sentinel was here. Zyra stood tall. We can't fight it yet, but we can delay it. She placed her hand on the crystal. The room began to shift, walls moving, turning, collapsing behind them. Come, she said. There's one place left that might protect us. But it's off Earth. Alex blinked. Off what? Off-world. A rogue moon. If we reach it, we may survive. Alex looked back as the tunnel sealed shut behind them, then he whispered, Let's go. Far behind them in the empty vault, the sentinel stepped into the light. It knelt before the now dark crystal. It placed a clawed hand over the symbols Alex touched. And for the first time in centuries, it spoke aloud. The heir has bonded. The hunt is no longer secret. The hunters, the stars above Earth, never blinked. But something beyond them did. A ship floated in the darkness, black as shadow, silent, invisible. Inside, the hunter awoke. Not by alarm, not by signal, by instinct. Its glowing red eyes opened in the void. Target acquired, it whispered. Then it moved. On Earth, deep beneath New Terra, Alex and Zyra raced through the final tunnel. The ancient stone shook around them, cracks formed in the walls. The glowing lights began to fade. Alex gasped for air. What is this place collapsing? Zyra didn't look back. The vault is designed to hide royal blood forever. Once activated, it buries itself. Forever? Then how do we get out? She stopped at a circular platform. This, a transport ring, ancient tech, banned in half the galaxy for being unstable. Zyra activated it with a code written in light. The circle glowed under their feet. Alex hesitated. Where does it take us? Anywhere but here. Before he could protest, the ring exploded in light, and they were gone. Far above, the hunter stood at the sealed vault gate. Its sensors scanned for life. Nothing. No movement. But then it looked at the wall. Fresh fingerprints. Warm. The hunter turned to its ship and spoke in an alien tongue. Initiate global lockdown. No creature leaves the atmosphere. A fleet of black ships uncloaked around Earth. The hunt was now official. Alex and Zyra landed hard on rocky ground. The air was thin, cold. The sky was purple with 2 moons above. A broken planet drifted in the distance. Alex looked around. Where are we? Zyra stood slowly. A rogue moon, forgotten, not on maps. The Empire once used it to test weapons. He coughed. I can't breathe. Zyra touched his chest. The stone inside him glowed faintly. His lungs adjusted. The air became clear. Your bond is adapting, she said. Alex shivered. This is insane. Then a voice echoed through the air. There is no escape, Bloodborne. A figure appeared from the mist. Not metal, not a machine, something worse. It walked like a man, but its face was smooth and featureless. No mouth, no eyes, just skin. A hunter in disguise. Zyra stepped forward. You broke ancient law. You cannot. Follow me here. The hunter tilted its head. Law means nothing when the throne is dead. Alex backed away. Zyra. She handed him a small silver blade. It pulsed with energy. Keep this. If I fall, run. Alex took it, hands shaking. Fall? You mean fight? You can't beat him alone. I don't plan to. Zyra rushed forward. The hunter moved like a shadow, faster than light. There, energy clashed in the sky. Blue and red. Lightning tore through the air. Rocks exploded. Alex was thrown backward by the shockwave. Zyra's body glowed. She moved with grace and fury, like the warrior Alex had seen in her memories. But the hunter was older, stronger. It shifted shape, growing claws, wings, blades. Alex stared in horror. She's going to lose. Then he looked down. The blade in his hand was glowing, brighter than ever. He felt heat. Voices, like 1,000 whispers. He didn't understand them, but they pushed him forward. His feet moved toward the battle. Zyra was on her knees, bleeding. The hunter raised a spike over her head. Blood ends now, it said. Then it froze, turned slowly. Alex was walking toward it, the blade glowing white-hot. You will not touch her, he said, voice shaking, but firm. The hunter laughed. Human, you cannot harm me. Alex raised the blade, and it changed. It grew longer, sharper. Ancient symbols lit up along the edge. The hunter stepped back. For the first time, it hesitated. You are not just human, it whispered. Alex swung the blade, and light exploded. The hunter screamed. Its skin burned. It vanished in a burst of smoke. Alex fell to his knees. Zyra crawled to him, weak. You, activated the relic, that blade. Only a royal heir can wield it. Alex looked at her. But I'm not royal. Zyra stared at him. No, she said. But maybe you were meant to be. High above the rogue moon, the Black Fleet recorded everything. One ship opened a private channel to the Galactic Council. The hybrid has awakened, the voice said. He wields the blade. Authorization requested. Full extermination protocol. The reply came fast. Denied. Capture. Alive. Escape plan. Alex had never held a weapon before. Now he held one that made the stars afraid. He stared at the glowing blade in his hands. It was warm. Alive. Whispering to him. Not in words, but in feelings. Rage. Hope. Power. Zyra lay beside him, bleeding, but alive. Her eyes barely stayed open. You saved me, she whispered. Alex didn't speak. He just looked around at the broken land. The rogue moon was cold, lifeless. But it had protected them. For now. They both knew it wouldn't last. Zyra sat up, slowly. We need to leave this moon. Where? Alex asked. Everywhere we go, they find us. Zyra wiped blood from her mouth. There's one place left. It's not a world. It's not even on charts. It's called Sorrow's Gate. That sounds welcoming. It's not, but it's hidden, and it has a ship fast enough to outrun the Council's hunters. Alex helped her up. How do we get there? She looked at the sky. We need a pilot. And I know one. A few hours later, under the dead sky, a ship landed in a burst of dust and wind. It wasn't a clean, elegant vessel. It was a junk beast, patched with old metal, humming with bad energy. But it flew. The ramp opened with a groan. Out stepped a tall figure in a worn flight suit. One eye was a glowing implant. The other eye was missing. Zyra, the pilot said, I thought you were dead. Not yet, she replied, but if we don't fly now, we will be. Inside the ship, the pilot, who called himself Hex, looked Alex over. You bonded with her? He asked. Alex nodded. Wasn't my choice. Hex gave a dry laugh. It never is. Zyra turned to Hex. We need to reach Sorrow's Gate. Fast. Hex scratched his chin. I'll need payment. She tossed a small silver disc onto the table. He caught it, looked at it, whistled. You're serious. I always am. The ship lifted off. Alex sat by a window, watching the rogue moon shrink behind them. Why do they want you so bad? He asked. Zyra stood next to him. Because my blood is tied to the Vault of Echoes. It's not just a myth. It's real. It holds ancient tech that can rewrite entire star systems. And now, because of the bond, I'm connected to it. Too? She nodded. Alex laughed bitterly. So basically, I went from awkward roommate to galactic threat overnight. Zyra smiled. Yes, congratulations. Suddenly, alarms blared across the ship. Hex cursed from the cockpit. We've got company. Zyra rushed to the front. How many? Hex's face went pale. Too many. On the screen, a fleet of black ships blinked into existence, silent, deadly, surrounding them like wolves. They tracked our jump signature, Zyra said. Alex stood behind her. Can we run? Not fast enough, Hex said. But maybe we can trick them. Zyra turned to him. How? Hex leaned back. This ship is built from old war-era parts. If I overload the jump core, we can do a dirty slip, bounce across 3 systems at once. That could kill us, Zyra said. Or save you, he replied. Zyra looked at Alex. It's your choice. Alex swallowed hard. Why mine? Because your mind is tied to the bond. If you can focus, you might stabilize the jump. And if I fail, we die in pieces, scattered across the stars. Alex stared at her, then nodded. Hex activated the core. The ship shook. Lights flickered. The air grew hot. Zyra placed her hand on Alex's chest. Clear your mind. Hold nothing but one image. What image? She whispered. Me. Alex closed his eyes, and the ship exploded into slipspace. The Council's ships blinked. The target vanished. No trail, no debris. Nothing. Inside the ship, the crew tumbled through the void between stars. Alex saw flashes, Zyra's memories, her mother's voice, her father's final breath, the fall of her world. Then he saw something else. A throne, buried beneath. A dying star. It called to him, not in words, in blood. Then everything went still. The ship emerged near a shattered planet. A small station floated in its orbit, Sorrow's Gate. Zyra gasped, looking out the window. We made it. Alex turned to her. Why does this place feel familiar? She didn't answer. Because she didn't know yet. That part of the vault had already awakened inside him. The bond, the station known as Sorrow's Gate, floated like a grave in space. Old, silent, forgotten by the galaxy. But it remembered her. As Zyra stepped through the docking bay, the lights turned on one by one. Not because someone activated them, because the station recognized her. Alex followed, his chest still glowing faintly. The sword at his side pulsed like a heartbeat. Hex stayed behind in the ship. I'll keep the engines warm, he muttered, just in case this place gets haunted. Zyra glanced back. It already is. Inside, Sorrow's Gate was massive. Ancient technology lined the walls, smooth, elegant, untouched for centuries. Symbols glowed softly as Alex walked past them. They react to you, Zyra whispered. Alex didn't understand how, or why. But every step he took seemed to unlock something. Memories, energy, visions. He saw flashes, royal halls, star maps, ancient battles. And one symbol kept returning. A spiral. Zyra noticed it too. The spiral seal, she said, the mark of a true bond. What does it mean? Zyra's voice dropped. It means the bond is complete. Alex stopped walking. Wait, complete? Already? She looked at him sadly. We are no longer two beings. Not fully. The vault inside you. It has opened. There's no going back. Alex's heart pounded. Then why do I still feel like me? Because the change is slow, she said. But soon, you will know my thoughts, my pain, my memories, and I will know yours. Alex looked down at his hands. They were glowing again. I didn't ask for this. Zyra nodded. I didn't either. But it's done. They entered the central chamber. A massive throne sat in the middle. Not for comfort. It was made of sharp crystal and hovering energy. It looked more like a weapon than a seat. Alex stepped closer. It called to him. Zyra touched his arm. Be careful. The throne tests the bonded. If it rejects you, it will kill you. Alex turned. And if it accepts me? Zyra stared at him. Then, you're no longer human. Alex stood before the throne, his blade floated beside him. The symbols on it now matched those on the throne. Everything was aligning. He placed his hand on the throne. Pain struck instantly. His body was pulled into memory space, a place between time and thought. He saw the truth. Zyra's people had built the Vault of Echoes to protect the galaxy, not control it. It could rewrite energy, life, even destiny, but only if awakened by a pure bond. One soul from royal blood. One soul from outside the stars. A human. Alex gasped. His eyes opened. He was sitting on the throne. The lights of Sorrow's Gate flared. Bright Zyra knelt before him, tears in her eyes. You did it. Alex stood slowly, voice shaking. I saw everything. The vault, the spiral, the war. Zyra looked up. Then you know what's coming. He nodded. They don't want to kill us. Zyra's voice hardened. They want to control us. Suddenly, Alarms echoed through the station. Hex's voice crackled over the comm. They found us. A full fleet just dropped out of warp. No warning, no time. Alex looked at Zyra. But Zyra was already staring out the window. Dozens of council ships filled the sky. At the center was a golden vessel, shaped like a blade, glowing. Like fire, she whispered. The Judgment Fleet. Alex drew the sword. It burned with blinding light. Inside the lead ship, a cloaked figure stood before a screen. His face was hidden, but his voice was cold. The heir has claimed the throne, he said. Initiate capture. Kill all who resist. Soldier stepped forward. What if the throne resists us? The figure smiled beneath his hood. Then we destroy the station, and everything on it. Back at Sorrow's Gate, Zyra looked at Alex. You know what you are now? Alex nodded. I'm the key. And the weapon. He looked at the fleet outside, then at her. Then it's time they learn what happens when you push a human too far. The awakening the stars were no longer peaceful. From the observation deck of Sorrow's Gate, Alex stood with Zyra and watched the sky burn with engines. The Judgment Fleet had arrived, dozens of council warships surrounding the station like vultures waiting to strike. They're giving us no time, Zyra said softly. No chance to run. No warning. They never wanted a fight, Alex replied. They wanted control. Zyra looked at him. Then we'll give them something they can't control. Inside the command chamber, Alex stepped onto the throne once again. This time, it didn't resist. The station responded to his presence. The air changed, the lights brightened, the ground vibrated with energy. He could feel it now. Every wall, every power source, every ancient weapon buried in the station's core. He was the station. I'm connected to all of it, he whispered. Zyra nodded. The vault has awakened through you. You are its voice. Now, Alex turned to her. Then let's make sure the galaxy hears it. On the bridge of the lead council ship, the High Executor stepped forward. He was old, cruel, and covered in armor made from the bones of extinct species. Signal the station, he said. Surrender the bonded one, or be erased. A communication beam shot toward Sorrow's Gate. Alex answered. No, he said. Calm, clear, unshaken. The executor blinked. Excuse me? Alex's voice echoed through every ship in the fleet. You hunted us, lied about us, feared us, and now you've surrounded this station thinking I'll kneel. He stepped forward. I am not your prisoner. I am not your enemy. The sword hovered behind him, glowing white-hot. I am your reckoning. The fleet opened fire. Thousands of plasma bolts launched at the station. Beams of red and violet scorched toward Sorrow's Gate. But they didn't hit, because the station moved. Not like a ship, but like something alive. Ancient shields activated. Energy flowed through channels that hadn't lit up in 10,000 years. And at the center of it all stood Alex, his body glowing, his eyes filled with light. Inside the vault's core, Zyra was silent, until she said one word. Now. Alex raised his hand. The sword shot into the sky above the station, splitting into fragments of light that spun outward in all directions. Each fragment became a pulse, disabling a warship's weapons, jamming their engines, wiping their targeting systems. The fleet panicked. Ships drifted, spun out of control. Power flickered across command decks. Crew members screamed. The executor rose from his throne. What is this? His ship's AI responded. Unknown technology. Origin, human hybrid, he growled. Then end it. The fleet launched boarding. Pause hundreds of soldiers in armor flying toward the station. Alex turned to Zyra. We stopped them here. Zyra activated her blades. Together, the first wave landed hard. Doors were blasted open. Smoke filled the corridors. Then came the battle. Alex fought like a storm. His sword moved faster than thought, guiding him, protecting him. It wasn't just a weapon now, it was a part of him. Zyra moved beside him, fast and deadly. For every enemy that touched the floor, 5 more arrived. Still, they didn't break, because something inside Alex had fully awakened. In the deepest part of the vault, a final system unlocked. A choice. Alex stood before it, hand trembling. "What's this?" he asked. Zyra stood beside him. "A message, a gift, or a weapon. You choose what it becomes." A panel rose. On it, one button, one symbol, the spiral. A voice echoed in his mind. "Speak your will, heir of two worlds." Outside, the executor ordered the final attack. Charge the planet breaker cannon. His ship's nose opened, a weapon large enough to destroy moons. Inside Sorrow's gate, Alex stared at the symbol. He closed his eyes, then whispered, "Let them see what they feared." He touched the panel. The sky exploded, not with fire, but with light. A spiral wave burst from the station, pure energy sweeping through the fleet. But it didn't destroy. It showed truth. Every soldier, every commander, every being who had called Alex a threat, saw his memories, his fear, his pain, his courage, and they saw Zyra's too. The death, the betrayal, the love. The war ended in a moment of silence. The cannon powered down. The executor fell to his knees. Back inside, Alex collapsed. Zyra caught him. "You did it," she whispered. "They saw." His voice was weak. "I'm still me?" She smiled. "You're more than you were." The station drifted in peace. Across the galaxy, signals spread. Some feared the new power, some worshipped it. But all of them knew one truth. A human now sat on a throne meant for gods. And he wasn't alone.